What's up, YouTube? I am GMaster6, and welcome to my Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro replay series. Today I am using a Buster Blader Dark Magician deck that I made. It's really fun. It of course has some brick hands. I'm still working on it, but it's a really entertaining deck. So as always, I'll show you guys a couple of replays, and then I'll show you the deck. I think I have 4 replays for this deck, so let's hop on in. So the first replay, as you can see, I have Rod and Circle, which is awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and Rod, get the, what is that, Illusion Magic, and then I'm going to set a bunch of back row. Eternal Soul, Illusion Magic, and Magician Navigate. So I have a lot of ways to get my Dark Magician out. I'm going to go ahead and Illusion Magic on its first card so that I can get some Dark Magicians in my hand to Eternal Soul and Magician Navigate. He's going to get some hieratic cards, but now that I don't have a monster anymore, he can't use it. So he summons King Kibio, and I wanted to remove it before it went back to his hand, but I couldn't, like, it wouldn't let me play it before his effect triggered, so it is what it is. Anyway, though, I go ahead and go for the Eternal Soul to get a Dark Magician out. Go into Ebon Illusion Magician to get a Dark Magician in my grave, which is important, and then go ahead and attack with everybody. And as you can see, because I haven't used Eternal Soul this turn, I can bring that Dark Magician. I detach back and attack for game. So, you know, nice little OTK there. It's not always going to work like that, but it's nice when it does. So, got one against Blue Eyes. So obviously, you would think we have the advantage with our Dark Paladin, but we'll see what happens. As you can see, he's running the Deep Eyes White Dragon here, so we'll see what happens. I go ahead and Dark Magic Circle, set 4. We got the Eye of Timaeus, we got the Solemn Strike, and we got the Eternal Soul for our Dark Magician, which, as you can see, I can go ahead and bring it out right here and banish his face down. And now that I see he's running Blue Eyes, I'm like, alright, cool. Go ahead and search for that Dark Magic attack, and Eye of Timaeus, my Dark Magician, to bring out the Dark Paladin. Now, I could have, of course, gone ahead and instead of searching for Dark Magic attack, revive my Dark Magician. But I wanted another card to be able to discard just in case. So here again, I can do the exact same thing. Go ahead and special summon Dark Magician to remove this guy. I'm then gonna go for Destruction Sword Remnants to bring out my Buster Blader, just because it's level 7. So then I can exceed into my my Ebon Magician. He's gonna effect Veiler it, so I can't bring it up. Use his ability, but I think I misclicked there. I think I meant to special summon Dark Magician, but as you can see, it didn't really matter. I had enough damage to finish the game, so that is that. Alright, then we got one against Dino Mist. This was a really good game, and Dino Mist just do some crazy things now, so they're basically Pepe 2.0 at this point. So they go ahead and ride in the circle into something else. I don't know if it was Illusion Magic or Magician Navigate. Not really that important. He's gonna go for his Dynamis card, and I'm like, alright, let me get some Dark Magicians in my hand. I don't really care that thing happened. He's gonna set his scale up, and now I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and remove this Luster Pendulum, because I know Luster Pendulum is important. And here I do the Rod cycle. Instead of special summoning Illusion Magician or something like that, I go ahead and get a Rod to cycle it. He's still able to set up his scale, but again, I just didn't want him to have Luster Pendulum. He has to use his limit removal to get over my Dark Magician, so at this point I'm like, okay, great, I have a huge advantage in cards. He does have the Great Arm Heaven here, but I don't think that comes into play at all. In any case, I'm going to Pod Duel here and then go ahead and go for the Rod to get something to special summon Dark Magician. It really didn't matter what, I just needed to be able to summon my Dark Magician so that I could banish things. So he's going to set up his scale, or he's going to use his scale to summon his Rex again. I'm going to go ahead and special summon Dark Magician to banish it, and again Rod cycle, because again, this time, because I have Illusion Magician in my hand, I'm going to go ahead and summon him so that I can go for the rank 7 play here. He uses one of their abilities to protect his guy. I didn't know he could do that, and I was like, oh, well, that's unfortunate, but as you can see here, it doesn't matter. I'm going to get the Dark Magic attack, blow his stuff back, and he's just going to forfeit, and I absolutely understand that forfeit. The only thing, he had no Pendulum scale. I was going to kill this monster, so it was going to go back to his extra deck, and he has nothing. Even if he draws one of his guys, he needs at least 2 to set up the scale, so there's really nothing he would have been able to do the game was over. So, that is that one. And I know you guys like, I mean, this is basically just the Dark Magician deck, right? Hang on, you'll see some Buster Blader stuff here in a second. The main thing is the text. Like, you'll see I do. I think yeah, I grab Rod because Rod's just way better. Rod is so much better. Rod is so good. It makes no sense. Like this is ridiculous. But you see, I have like where is it? Destruction Sword Master Fusion. This is a really good card. Like this is live right now. I can fuse into Dark Paladin with this card, as you see I do. So it's a good card, and he has Raigeki and Lightning Vortex in his hand. He can't do anything. He can't do anything because I'm a Rod Cycle. I'm gonna get the cards I need, banish that. He can't play any of these. He just set them, and I can block both of these with my draws. So it's nice tacking it in there. I'm gonna go ahead and attack here, even though if he has Mirror Force something like that, I'm kind of done. But I go ahead and do it anyway. Summon Rod, get my search off, and what were he had Divine Wrath, Magical Hats, and what? Divine Wrath, Magical Hats, and Magical Hats. Okay, so he's gonna write Geki since he does have the Divine Wrath. I can't stop it from happening. But I do have Illusion Magic, which will allow me, or Magician's Navigate, which will allow me to banish his guy. And because all he had left was Divine Wrath and another Magical Hats, that game was over. But as you can see, that's why I use like I run the Buster Bladers and I run the Destruction Fusion, Destruction Sword Master Fusion. I don't even know what the card is, but I run that because if I'm holding both of them, it's an easy fuse into Dark Paladin, or yeah, Dark Paladin. So let me show you guys the deck really quickly. So this is how I'm running it. Only 12 monsters. Like I said, it's pretty efficient. Got 3 Dark Magicians, only 2 Buster Bladers. 3 was not good. Like you don't need to draw them that much because you can special summon them with this. Only 1 Illusion, Magician of Black Illusion, 3 Rod, and 3 Companions. So generally what you want to do is open with Pot and try and get one of these guys. I mean, preferably Rod, because Rod gets you this, which also gets you a search. But even if you get Destruction or Companion, you still get a search into this or this. These are generally the better two. This card is mainly for after you've already fusion summoned, then it's an amazing card, because if you control Dark Paladin or Buster Blade of the Dragon Destroyer, you can banish all of your opponent's monsters, and it's banish, which is very important. Doesn't say destroy, doesn't say send to the graveyard, none of that. Just banish them, which is crazy. The reason I say that is because it gets over Pendulum. Like once they Pendulum summon everything, you just banish everything. It's awesome. Its second effect is okay, but we don't use it for that really. Anyway, back to this 3 Rod, 3 Companion, 2 Itemize, 3 is kind of overkill. You do use the Dark Magicians for other things, so it's nice. It's a nice 1 card, Paladin, but you can get him out of the way, so it's cool. 2 Dark Magic attack, pretty standard. Upstart's kind of just in there because I had the space, why not? 3 Duality, only 2 of these. You're rarely gonna have the Buster Blader and the Companion and want to fuse into this. The reason I say that is because it's often a lot better to go ahead and summon this guy, get a search, and then if you have the Buster Blader in your hand, go ahead and tribute it to special summon the Buster Blader and do it that way, because if he's in your graveyard, you can discard a Destruction Sword card to special summon it, which is any of these 7 cards. And if you do that, you can then synchro into this thing, which every turn lets you summon Buster Blader. So basically, if you're holding this card and these 3, normally what I do is summon this, search, special summon this, and then on my next turn I can discard this card to go ahead and special summon him, synchro into the Buster Dragon, and then bring out another Buster Blader. And this card you can bring back to your hand by discarding anything, which is awesome. So you really don't lose, anything at all. Buster Dragon, if you don't know, well, I'll get to him. So that's generally what I do. I mean, sometimes you'll want to fuse, or it'll be better to fuse, but that's generally what I do. So there's 2 of those, 2 Illusion Magic, and 3 Circle, of course. Got 2 Magician's Navigate. You don't need 3. It's just 3 is too much. 1 Dark Renewal. I like Dark Renewal. You're gonna miss, like, I don't know. Dark Renewal is kind of one of those iffy cards because it only works with a spellcaster type monster, so it'll only work if you already have a Dark Magician on the field or Magician's Rod, because generally you're not going to want to sacrifice Dark Paladin to stop a summon. So it only works with those 2 cards. If you draw this and you don't have Rod or something like that, then it's just dead. You do have a couple of cards that need you to discard stuff, so it's okay, but I don't know. It's one of those things that you just kind of got to play around with it. Two Destruction Sword Flash. Like I said, it only works when you have a fusion on the field, so you really don't want three. But at the same time, it's it's a ridiculously strong card, so having them is good. And its second ability allows you to banish it to protect one of your Buster Blader monsters from a card that would destroy it, like a card effect that would destroy it. So, you know, that's not bad. Destruction Sword Reminisce is a ridiculously good card, though. And this is another reason why I rarely use this to fuse into Buster Blade or the Dragon Destroyer. This card lets you discard a card to special summon or discard a Destruction Sword card to special summon Buster Blade from your deck, which is awesome. But then you can fusion summon one Buster Blade of the Dragon Destroyer from your extra deck by banishing the fusion materials listed on this card. So basically, after you've used this to search for this, to summon this, to synchro into this, once they've gotten rid of all that foolishness, you can just remove this guy and this guy to summon him from your graveyard, which is crazy. It's absolutely crazy to me. So, and it's, you know, it's quick play. You can do it during your opponent's turn. You can do it during the turn you use this card. It's not one of those cards where it's like during the next turn, like Breakthrough Skill. It's not like that. So it's really good. Eternal Soul, pretty obvious. You get Dark Magician and you can search for Dark Magic Attack, which is important because you need cards to discard as well as you need to be able to get rid of traps, because obviously you can't stop trap cards. You stop the spells but not the traps, and this guy stops monster effects, which I thought I had a lock, but I guess I didn't save it, but I did have one where I got out Buster Dragon and then got out Buster Blade of the Dragon Destroyer. So basically all their monsters become dragon because of this guy, and this one says negate all your opponent's dragon type monsters effects. So none of his monsters have effects. And the turn before he forfeited, I was able to get Dark Paladin out with Eye to Eyes. So I was stopping spells and effects. So the only thing he could do was traps. So it's pretty good. But anyway, that's why you need Dark Magic Attack. And then Mini Solemn Suite here. 2 strikes, 1 warning. You could probably take out Dark Renewal and put in the other strike if you wanted to. That's actually a pretty good idea. I think the main reason I didn't is because life points, but it's totally up to you. Fusion, or extra deck rather, 3 Paladin, and you actually do need 3 Paladin, 3 Buster Dragon, or 3 Buster Blade of the Dragon Destroyer, 3 Buster Dragons, 2 Ebon Illusion, and 1 Ebon Oblivion. You can put in whatever you want as the other 3. You could probably bring him down to 2. You can actually probably bring him down to 2. Like I said, I would keep Dark Paladin at 3. You're going to make him way more than you do Buster Dragon, or Buster Blade of Dragon Destroyer. Yeah, you can play around with some of these numbers. If you don't know what these guys do, he lets you discard a card to negate a spell card. Negates 500 for every dragon type monster your opponent controls or in their graveyard. No. This is Dark Paladin is either player. Either player controls or in either graveyard, which is awesome. Buster Blade of the Dragon Destroyer gains 1,000 for each dragon type monster your opponent controls or in their graveyard. So he doesn't count your dragons. Dark Paladin does, this guy doesn't. He can't attack your opponent directly because he gains so much attack, which is fine. All of your opponent's dragon type monsters are forced to defense and their effects are negated, and he pierces. So that's why he can't attack directly, because you know he forces everyone to his defense and pierces through them, so it's cool. Buster Dragon forces all your opponent's monsters to become dragon type to go with Buster Blade the Dragon Destroyer. And once per turn on your turn, if you don't have Buster Blader, you can special summon it. On your opponent's turn, you can equip one of your Destruction Sword guys to your Buster Blader. So there are some that have effects, like he doesn't do anything if he's equipped, but the other ones have effects that do something, so that's why that's there. Ebon, which one is this? Ebon Illusion sets up OTKs and allows you to special summon Dark Magician, so he's really good. This guy lets you play trap cards from your hand, so he's important because you have such a large trap lineup, and a lot of them do really have really strong effects. Like imagine having Ebon Illusion Magician in your hand or on the field, and Magician's Rod on the field, and Dark Renewal in your hand. Your opponent doesn't even know that their summon's gonna get negated because you don't have the back row, down. They're looking at your monsters like, oh, okay, your monster effects aren't gonna stop me. I'm gonna try and, I don't know, special summon Blue Eyes Alternate or something like that. I don't know. and you can just Dark Renewal it, get out your Dark Magician for free. You know, it's a good card. I wouldn't run more than one because he's kind of situational, but like the majority of the time, Illusion Magician can win you the game or set you up for a very strong finish. But let's say like you, for whatever reason, first turn, get out to Dark Magician or Buster Blader and Dark Magician. It'd be pretty good to exceed into this line, because exceeding into Illusion Magician without being able to attack is kind of unnecessary. These aren't side deck cards, but these are just other cards you could consider. Emblem of Dragon Destroyer lets you search for Buster Blader. Monster Gate, since you run so many different levels, not a bad card. However, you only run 12 monsters, so you'll probably get rid of some important spell and traps along the way. But the good thing is that these 3 cards work in the graveyard, so that's cool. Reasoning, same thing. Card of Demise is an amazing card, and I'm trying to figure out if I really want to run it in this deck because it can work well. The problem is if you Card of Demise into like Buster Blader and Dark Magician and all that stuff, you can't do anything with them, so they just get discarded, and that could be bad. And then the other ones of these if you want to run them. So this is the deck. Leave comments and suggestions down below. If you guys enjoyed those duels, please do leave a like because your support is greatly appreciated. For whatever reason, if you didn't enjoy this video, leave a dislike. Let me know what you didn't enjoy so that I can improve. If you guys have any suggestions on the deck, please do leave them down below. And yeah, as always, I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you next time. I'm GMaster6. You guys take care.